Now, it's very easy to blame AI for the lack of jobs. But what if I told you there's another reason that's far more sinister than just AI taking jobs? Look, we all know that AI is coming for most jobs. We have the chief of staff of AI, Mustafa Suleiman, in Microsoft saying that in 18 months, all white collar jobs will be eliminated. In the UK, 7.1% less jobs than there were last year. So 2026 figures in comparison to 2025 figures. And also, jobs haven't come back to normal levels. I mean, globally, 16 to 17% less jobs than pre pandemic levels. So things are not looking good for the amount of jobs we can see. But why is that happening? Yes, AI is an element, but there's a much more stronger, scarier reason that we need to pay attention. I'm Milo, and I'm the founder of How to Job, and I'm here to teach you how to job search much more effectively to generate multiple offers in a relatively shorter amount of time. Okay, back to it. So, why is this happening? Well, what I'm seeing across the board is companies are actually posting less jobs and they're increasing internal positions by about threefold. Literally, people are getting hidden jobs and internal positions being recommended to them by speaking to people. You've probably seen quite a lot of people on LinkedIn that talk a lot about networking, knowing the right people, and you kind of see people who have less experience than everybody else getting some really difficult to reach positions. And then we all start to wonder, well, why is that happening? How do I get into that mix? Well, you have to speak to people, you have to talk to people, which we all know. If you've followed my content, you know I'm a big advocate of networking. But how do you do it and why should you do it? And more importantly, why is it a need to do it? You see, companies are sick and tired in the same way that you are. You're applying to jobs, nothing's happening. And then you kind of keep doing it. It's insanity. Companies are experiencing the same thing because they put out a job advert, they'll have several thousand people apply. They'll only be able to really interview five people, and then they'll select one person. And that person might not be the right fit. They might have got it wrong. They might have got the wrong person for the wrong company culture fit. That person they hired left after 3 months because they wanted to do another position. They just weren't the right fit. So companies are actually really hitting the costs much harder than you are. And I fully sympathize with every job seeker watching this video, but companies are also losing money and they're changing the way they job hunt for applicants, which means you need to pay attention because it's not just about applying anymore. It literally is about getting in front of the real decision makers. You see, if a company has an advert and they waste 6 weeks and they find the wrong person out of thousands of other potential right people, and they've made a mistake, they have to do the whole process again, which is even more costly for them. That's another 6 weeks. So that's totaling 3 months. Companies lose a lot of money the longer their job search goes for the right applicant. You lose a monthly salary. Now, apples and oranges, you lose, they lose, everybody loses. So companies are taking the initiative now to actually ask existing employees, hey, who do you know that you think would be the right fit? Now, why are companies doing this? Why are there internal positions? Well, it's very simple. If you've hired 50 people and they're the right company culture fit and they're all doing their job properly and they believe in the company's mission, your perspective as a business owner or someone running a business is those people probably know other people that would be a very similar fit. Human beings are very tribal. We hang out with similar people in most cases. So companies are betting on the fact that, well, we've got good employees. They all believe in the mission. They probably know other people that are going to be good employees too. Let's ask them and further incentivize them to refer people. You see, if they can incentivize an existing employee to recommend someone and give them $1,000 up to $5,000 as a referral fee, that beats them paying $20,000 to $30,000 to a recruiter, and it also decreases the time it takes for someone to refer because they are incentivized to recommend someone. So that's the reason you want to have conversations with real individuals and companies. You could literally be referred and they could be making a financial gain by doing that. Okay, so how do we do it? Well, it's very simple from the point of knowing what to look for. If you know what you're looking for, there's a higher chance to find it. That's what I believe anyway. So if you start with an ideal employer profile, you can have a list of companies you feel you would be a good fit for. Now, when these companies or people that you speak to start asking you, well, why do you want to work here? Because you've got a genuine list of companies, you probably have a better answer as a sort of pitch to sell yourself. You have an elevator pitch. You have 30 seconds to impress someone. Now, if you say, hey, I'm hardworking, motivated, and I'm really passionate, they're probably not going to believe you. But if you want to work in the AI startup space and you've got 10 companies that you really like, there's a higher chance for you to actually explain why you're going to be the right fit. Which brings me to my next point. You need key people of influence who actually have decision making ability. It's not about recruiters and hiring managers. They're probably the worst people to network with because they're so busy. They get so many messages. So many people send them messages like this, which is, hey, any jobs? And then they get ignored and then they complain about being ghosted. I mean, you guys need to send better messages. So, key people of influence are individuals who are probably doing the same job that you want to do, but at a higher level. So, if you're looking for a data analyst role, you might want to reach out to the head of data science. These people structure projects, they tell hiring teams who they need on their team, and they're the ones actually advising hiring individuals how they should interview and who they should hire. Now, on the basis of that, you need some really good networking conversations. You cannot literally say, hey, what's the company like? Or what's the day to day like? That is too basic, and I'm sure you'll agree. Well, I hope you agree. You have to have intelligent questions that generate engagement. So, an intelligent question could be as simple as, hey, when your company starts hiring for this particular company culture, do you prioritize hard skills or soft skills? You want something that's pretty easy to answer. It sounds like a pretty simple question, but it's pre-engineered with who you could be. You see, if you're the right company culture fit from your perspective, if they give you an answer, you can validate why you are the right fit. And that further increases the chance of having a better conversation. I want you to imagine having an informational interview with someone who has decision making ability where you can ask them for advice on how to make a better application. You see, if they give you that advice and they help you stick out from the crowd, you increase your chance of being shortlisted. But that's just traditional applications. Let's look at internal roles, the main basis of this video. There are a ton more internal positions available. These are jobs you cannot see. These are jobs that you can only get referred into because companies are sick and tired of getting hundreds of thousands of applicants that are just not the right fit. So if you're internally recommended, not only is that person financially incentivized to refer you, you have a higher chance of being shortlisted. Look, if you need some advice on how to do this, you can go on the How to Job website, fill in a form. Our team will give you a report specific to your profile. We can book a call. You can do a strategy session completely free, and we can go through how you can stick out from the crowd in the internal job market. I'll see you in the next video.